Hi and welcome to the NOWDEMY video tutorial series. In this video tutorial, we will talk about PHP and some of its topics. We will cover all these topics like installation, XAMPP server, variables, comments, if statements, isset, session, creation and destroy, how to create cookies and delete, function, global variables and type of functions, arrays and its types, introduction to MySQL. We will save some data to database and will retrieve that data back from the database and will display in a form. Before doing all of this, we will start. We will try to install the XAMPP server in our local machine. So go to the browser. Instead of doing all this before, we should know at least what is PHP and what does it do. PHP stands for Hypertext Processor. PHP is a powerful and widely used open source server-side scripting language to write dynamically generated web pages. PHP scripts are executed on the web server and the result is sent to the browser as a plain HTML. PHP can be integrated within the number of popular databases including MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Sybase, Informatics, and Microsoft SQL Server. PHP can be embedded within a normal HTML web pages. That means inside your HTML documents, you will have PHP statements. What we can do with PHP? Why it is so famous? You can generate dynamic pages and files. You can create, open, read, write, and close files on the server. You can collect data from a web form such as user information, email, credit card information, and much more you can do with PHP. You can send emails to the users of your website. You can send and receive cookies to track the visitor of your website. You can store, delete, and modify information in your database and more, a lot other things to do with PHP. So in this video tutorial, we will do some of this. We'll create cookie sessions and we will know how to delete them also. So go to the browser for first of all and install a XAMPP server for the PHP. Say XAMPP download and go to the first link. We have three types of the servers here: XAMPP, WAMP, and MEMP. XAMPP is used for both Windows and iOS, Mac, but MEMP is used for Mac only, and WAMP is used for Windows only. So I will prefer to install XAMPP server because it is used for both of the platforms. So install the file according to your machine requirements, either 32-bit or 64-bit. Install this file, exe file, and run the exe file in the install the XAMPP server in your local machine. I will don't download and reinstall the XAMPP server because I already have installed the XAMPP server in my local machine. After installation, let me close this for now. Go to the main menu and say XAMPP control panel. Here is the control panel of the XAMPP server. Here, let me stop the services. Here are some services that we will need to start in order to execute PHP scripts, because this is a server and PHP needs a server in order to execute its scripts, its result. We will need to start this service for the PHP scripts execution, and this service is need to start because we will need to communicate between PHP and MySQL's database. We can save and receive some data between PHP and SQL server. Both of the services are successfully started, like the buttons are green now. So now this is okay and this is done. Close this tab. Now we will look at variables. The next topic is variables. We will see how variables are created, initialized, and how they are used. Here are some variables that I already have wrote in before. This is a variable name, and this is how we show the variable in a PHP. This is a symbol of variable, $sign, and any keyword variable name, whatever the variable names is, like another var, another variable. This is a variable name and it stores the simple string hello, and this is the other variable that stores NOWDEMY, the username. And how we display these variables, we say that echo whatever the variable name is, like I've changed the variable name another variable, and this is the second variable user. So we want to concat both of these strings, like we want to display the string as hello now Jamie. So we will concat both of the strings by the dot sign, like we do concatenation in JavaScript with the plus sign, but in PHP we do this concatenation with dot. So the result should be like hello now to me. Here is the output I already have shown. Let me do this again in another tab in order to show you how do we do this. So we will type localhost slash my root folder name is tut, and what my file name is data.php. Okay, now the result is hello now Timmy. So this was a simple introduction to PHP variables. Now we will look at PHP commits. There are two types of commits basically in every language. The first one is single line commit and the second is multi-line commits. We do single line commits in PHP with double forward slash, and we do multi-line commits in PHP with forward slash and static, and we do close these commits with static and forward slash. Yeah, now this is okay. We have commented multi-line and single line. So keep remember that both two types of comments are there: single line and multi-line. All right. Okay, these are the types of comments. So we have covered comments topics. Also, now we will come toward the if statements. We are little bit familiar with the if statement. In every language it is used similarly. The syntax differs little bit from other language, but the logics are same. So we will say that if you user the variable always comes with the dollar sign in use in PHP. So if user equals to now Jimmy, then we will echo uh, this is now Jimmy. Else it will echo, it will display the result. This is another user. Of some errors we have in our code. We have forgotten the semicolon. So this is now Dimmy because it has detected the variable user. So this it says this is now Dimmy. Uh, I will need to write a br tag here in order to break the line. Br, and I concat this tag and with this simple string. So it will work. So we will need to put this here, and we'll remove this single line quotes. Um, and the dot is also making an error here, so it should be okay. This is okay now. The line is broken. So hello NOWDEMY, and this is the if statement. According to the if statement, if this variable is found, NOWDEMY is found, then it will say this is NOWDEMY. Otherwise, it will say another user. So another example of if statement can be like if I can create two variables here, var 1 equals to 10 and var 2 equals to 20, and I will compare both of this. If var 1 is less than 2, then echo the var 1 dot again string is less than dot again that another variable is var 2. So the var it means 10 is less than 20 if this statement becomes true. Otherwise, if this becomes false, then it will echo copy this line and will say that no, the 20 is less than 10. I will replace both of the variables with one another. So what it should say, that 10 is less than 20. Obviously, the 10 is less than 20. So variable 10 is less than 20 according to our statements. So I think we have covered if statement also with else. But now I will not go in detail with if statement in nested if statements, and these are similar in every language. So we don't need to cover all this also. So we have simply covered the if statement in this tutorial. Now we will look at isset. We will discuss this isset topic later, because here now we don't need to discuss it yet, because we don't have the level right now to discuss this. Now we will go to discuss the session creation and destroy these sessions. So what are session basically? First of all, I will remove all of this. What a session is created to use the data anywhere in the website. It becomes global data. uh, it is the same way of getting and setting data. A session remains active when user is online in his account while when he logs out to end his session. This means that sessions are global variables, and they are used anywhere in the page, in the files you want to. Once you have created the session variables, it becomes global. You can access those variable anywhere in your website, in your files, in your pages, other. So these are much secure and much easy and very beneficial, because this becomes global, and it can access from anywhere. So how do we create this variable, this session variables? Again with dollar underscore and session. is a built-in function for session, and we will say that the session variable can be variable name can be anything like first user equals to something NOWDEMY again. I want to echo this variable. Echo. What is my variable name? My variable name is first user. So I will echo this session first user. Okay. Now this is okay. I think we need to go ahead now. So this is the session variable. I have outputted to the browser. This is a session variable, and this can be accessed from anywhere. Like the example can be, I will take another file and I will try to access this variable from this file, from this place. So I will save this file and will name this file get it. I think .php, and I will first of all, the major error we have created here is we did not start the session. So we will start to session start, because if we don't start a session, it will not work properly and we cannot access the data from another way. So session is been started. Here also we will need to create a script for PHP, and we will need to start a session also here. Session start function, built-in function, and now we can access the variable from here, like what the variable names were. Session square brackets, and the variable name was first user, I think. Now this is okay. I will load this page and I will go to my get data.php. I've forgotten the echo. Now this is okay. The same variables is accessed by this file, but this variable was initialized in the data.php, but I can access this variable from the get data.php also. So this is the great, very huge benefit of creating sessions. These are much secure and very easy to access. So now we can access a session, and also we can destroy these sessions. How can we destroy the session? We can destroy sessions in two ways: to destroy a specific session or to destroy all sessions at once at a time. So in order to destroy a single session, we can use a function of unset, and in order to destroy all the sessions at once, we will use session destroy function. So first of all, see the unset function. Here are two variables. We will say that unset or unset, we will unset the variable name. So unset is a function, and we will call the session variables here, and variable name was first user. So there we have one variable. We should have another variable so we can make difference. First user is uh, another user variable. This the any variable name, and this string is stored in this variable. So I will try to insert this variable by this file. So I've tried to insert this first user variable. Let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't load the data. NOWDEMY. Okay. Insert first user. So the variable is simply deleted and set from the page, from the file. This was how we unset we destroyed the single variable. Now we will see that how we destroy all variables at once. So I will comment this single destroyer session function also. Now I will say that destroy and this variables, both these variables at once. So let me comment this also, so nothing can be printed. So I will say that destroy session or session destroy, sorry. Session underscore destroy is a built-in function, and I will call a session variable here session, where my session variables are. No, sorry, I don't need to call variables here because if we have several variables, thousands of variables, all the variables will be destroyed at once. We don't need to call these variables here in the function like the unset function, because here we will need to destroy a single variable. So we will call this single variable inside this function, unset function. But now in session destroy, it will destroy all the variables at once. So let's see. Yes, because there is no difference because we did not load the page in order to see that first the variables were created, now the variables were destroyed. I will echo, and I will echo the another variable also. Another variable name is variables. This is the NOWDEMY and this is the another variable. So this is loaded. Now go to the get. Okay. I will print both of these variables in this get data.php. This is the same variable. So I want to destroy both of these variables. Yeah, here we can see that both of the variables becomes undefined because it could not find the reference, because both of the variables are destroyed. So this is how we can create sessions and we can destroy them. So this is a simple example of login and logout. First we will log in to any account like our Facebook account, Gmail account, or any other account. First we log into our account, we create the where sessions are created. we are being active in our account. We do messages, we do calls, we do post likes, and the session is been running, and once we hit the logout, the session is been destroyed. So I hope you this makes sense to you. This is the example of login and logout example, panel example. Now we will look at cookies. What are cookies? Cookies, and where do we use it actually? So first of all, saves cookies saves information of user inside browser for a specific span of time and then expires. We create cookies for a specific time and then it becomes disappear. It vanishes because we assign a specific time to these variables. Like this is the example of any website. Like for first time, if we browse any website, it give a messages. It give a prompt to us that we use cookies from our user, and we hit OK. If this is if you have experienced this type of messages anywhere from the websites, so you will see that they ask you to save your cookies, because once first time if we visit any website, if our cookies are stored, then again if we search for that data, for that variable or for that word again on the internet, then the same website will come before in front of us, because our cookies were saved to in their website, in their server. So this is the benefit of creating cookies, because it saves your data in their local server. Cookies are saved here in your browser, and it expires, and they are created for the limited or specified time. So what cookies can do, or what cookies are like, we don't need to explain that so much. Cookies can be dangerous also. Sometimes hackers can steal data by hack into cookies. Like a hacker want to hack your or steal your data, they can hack into this session, this panel, and can steal your data from here. So be aware of this. This is sometimes sensitive to create cookies or to save data. If a user visits any website, the website saves his cookies, and next time if he search again, our website will immediately display to them. So this is the benefit also, but uh, a single disadvantage is this, that a hacker can hack into your cookies and can steal your data. So how do we create cookies? How do we code for cookies? I will done this. We will see now how do we create cookies. I will go to my first page, main page. We use set cookie function. It takes three parameters. First parameter is a name. A name can be anything, any variable name, like my name. And the second parameter is the this variable's value. Other my name is NOWDEMY. Alright, and the third variable is time span. How much, for how long we want to leave this variable, this cookie variable. So we will set a span of time over here. We will say that save this cookies, active this cookie for us 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. I will go to my main file. Again, the main error is that I did not echo the variable. So here are our cookie variable name, my name, and it stores the NOWDEMY for 10 seconds. Uh, let's change the variable name for now. Hi, NOWDEMY. Yeah, this is okay now. So it will say that undefined name, and if we refresh the page, it says NOWDEMY. The cookie variable is being created and displayed to the browser. Now we will take another example of these cookies. Uh, After variables over here, cookie name and cookie value. Cookie name is user and the value is John Doe. I've set the cookie variable here. I've just initialized the cookie variables parameters variables above outside the set cookie function globally. So and then I called these variables in the cookie function over here and over here, and have set the time for that cookie variables to expire. When it need to expire, it will expire under a day. So this is the parameters needed by set cookie function. And now then where here I've called this set cookie function uh, cookie name. I've asked for the if function that if this function is cookie is set to this cookie variable, then it will display that echo cookie name is not set, else it will set cookie name is set, and it will display the cookie name also user, and cookie will value will be also displayed by cookie name. The cookie name stores user and the cookie value stores John Doe. Here I need to say that this says if this cookie not set to cookie name, then it will set that cookie name. Cookie name is not set. Username is not set. And if this condition becomes false, it will say that cookie and cookie user name is set, and it will call the actual username. Actual username is in this value. So go to the browser and see the output. Cookie name is user is not set. So we will need to refresh the browser from here. Cookie user is set. Value is John Doe, and it successfully called the function. I will remove this non-script text. So this is now okay. It says if this variable is set to cookies, then it will says is if this variable is not set to this cookie, then it will set that user is not set. Otherwise, if cookie variable cookie name variable is found, then it will say that cookie the user is set, and the user variable and the user name is John Doe. This is a simple example. Simple another example of a setting cookie. Now we will see that how do we delete these cookies, how do we unset these cookies. So let's see. Not like a session we do unset and destroy. A session we simply do delete the cookie variables, like set cookie again, set function, and it will again take three parameters. Cookie name variable is name cookie name, and the value of cookie name is example cookie. And the third one parameter is time span. 10. Actually, we will don't understand this example of deleting cookies because this is not so hard but confusing to understand. So this example, we will take this example by a simple form, by a simple form and button. So we'll create a form here, and we will create a button also here. Input type button, submit actually, and the value. Okay, now the and what the variable where button value name is name is delete. Okay, also delete. Okay, fine, not an issue. So I will say if the variable is set button is set to this name delete, then delete this cookie. If this button is been triggered, is been clicked, then delete this cookie simply. So if is set the post by default any form is on the get function, but here we need to specifically say that the method is post. By default any form method is equals to get. So I will say that the method is not get but post. So and also here post, and the post variable post name is delete. Oh, sorry, inside strings, double quotations, and delete, and the if braces. So if it's set to this delete name, then delete this cookies. And before this, first we need to create these cookies, then we will go to delete these cookies. So here I will. So now for the plus sign, the cookie is being created, and with the minus sign, the cookie will be deleted. So this is so simple to create and delete a cookies, but we don't know that when the cookie was deleted and when the cookie was created. So we will do this with a button, simply to recognize that the cookie is deleted or not. Go to the browser. Actually, I've not echo the cookie variable cookie name. So I will say that cookie cookie name is cookie's name. This is okay now, and this is for the one we want to store this for 1 day because 10 seconds is not enough. So now this will be uh, Now for 1 day, this cookie variable will be active for 1 day. Example cookies. This is the name of the cookie, and the cookie has been deleted. If you refresh the page, the cookie has been deleted again. The cookie is been created, and if we click this button, that means we deleted this button, and if we refresh the page, the cookie is become undefined because the cookie is deleted. So we have covered this topic. Also, setting cookies and deleting cookies. Setting cookies and deleting cookies are example of saving data. Your saving to the data to your browser, because session and setting cookies differs from one another with data saving types, like session saves data to the server, while cookies saves data to the browser. Setting cookies is little bit dangerous, because users, any hacker can steal your data with the help of your cookies, and sessions are saved to the server, so no one can hack into the server, no one can steal data from your server. So session is uh, beneficial more than cookies, but cookies are also beneficial. So now what we will create, we also have covered this topic over here. We use isset function to set any variable, any value, any name to the function, to say, to check either the method, the function is set to that variable, that string, or and that function. If we want to assign, if we want to check that if the variable is set to this function, then we use a set function. So this is easy to use. Now we have created session cookies, and we will go to the global variable and function. Then we will look at arrays and its types. So now function and global variable. Actually, why do we use function? In any programming language, we do use function everywhere in some, and like in Java and JavaScript. Uh, so many times everywhere, because it is very useful. We create a bunch of code in order to we use that code in order to access that code anywhere, and so many times we want. The PHP string functions are part of the PHP code. Actually, we use functions anywhere, every programming language. We use them so many times, and they are very beneficial. The functions are actually a bunch of code that we create once, and we will use it so many times. So we will try to use the function, create the function, and we will know that how many functions are there. So simple function, simple example of a function. Here we will create. I will remove all this. Don't need this. And script, I will say that function, the function keyword, and the function name is like sum, and I will create two variables over here. The var1 equals to again 10, and var2 equals to 10. Yeah, this is okay. And I will sum both of this variable value echo var1 plus with the second variable var2. Yeah, this is okay. So I will need to call this function name anywhere I want to call. I will say that sum what my function name is actually. My function name is sum and I will call this so the result can be displayed to the browser. Go to the browser, refresh, and the result is 20. Actually, I've made an error, make a mistake. What? Yeah, this is var1. Okay, the 10 plus 20 it becomes 30. This is okay. This is fine now. This is was the example of a very simple function. Now we will look at global variables and function. How do we create global variables and how do we use them inside a function? So let's see how do we do this. We'll delete this function also. I don't need this for now. I'll go ahead and say. First of all, what I need to do, I will need to create a variable, any variable, any name equals to, again, NOWDEMY, my favorite name every time. NOWDEMY function will be again a ready-made function, built-in function name is again, and any function name other my fun and the function body again. And call that global variable inside your function. Like what my variable name is with a global keyword uh, and the variable name is name. Yeah, this is and I will echo that function with some string. Hey, my name, my name is concat that function with the variable and outside of the function call that function. Like but my function name is my fun. Yeah, my fun and the terminator. So what we have did done over here, we say that there is a variable called NOWDEMY that stores the value NOWDEMY, and inside a function we we say to the function that they somewhere in the page, in this page there is a variable global variable which name is name which variable name is name and the store now demi we just print that variable with this with some of this string and my name is with that variable name. So we have called that variable name inside a function with some string and we have displayed that we have called that function outside of this function. Let's see what happens over here. According to our expectation here, my name is NOWDEMY. This is what okay, fine. According to our expectation, this is how we create functions, simple functions, and global variables, and how do we use them inside any function. What we will need to do now, we will look at arrays and types. Why do we use arrays actually? We use arrays to store any long data, any listing data that contains a list inside a single variables. Actually, arrays are more beneficial than anything, any variable, any method. Array stores multiple values in one single variable. It is kind of special variable. You can store a list of items in a single array variable. Array is a kind of simple variable, and we can store a list of more items inside a single variable. This is the benefit of using array. We will see that how do we code for array. So let's see. And here is the array name. Array name equals to and the array method array, and we want to store some lists items like NOWDEMY, again and again NOWDEMY, and say we will another name Zoha and her Zoya, Zara, Zora, and something. This is the simple list of persons persons that are stored to the array, and I will call this print or what my variable name is array name. So go to the browser and check for the result. Yes, here is arrays always start with the indexes. Its first index is always 0, and this is the index of this array, and the value of NOWDEMY. Its value is NOWDEMY. NOWDEMY's index is 0. It is the place of 0. Zoha is a place of index 1, and so on, like this. Zainab stays at the index of 4. Uh, Array always comes with indexes. It stores the data with indexes and declares that data stored always this with the indexes. So we can identify simply the place and the location of that array, that data. So this was a good simple example of array. We will look at another example of array. Then another example can be associative array. Why do we use associative array? The name associative simply describes its functionality. It is associates some extra data with other data. In associative array, we can define custom keys and can easily call them specifically. How do we create a associative array? We will see that. It simply says that 20 now Demi has a value of 20, or Zoha has a value of 24, and the Zara has a value of 27 something, and I will remove the others. This is enough. This both three are enough. So this is what happens in associative array. Associative arrays associates some data with other data. Like it says that now Demi has the value of 20. It associates with that value of 20, and Zoha associates with the value of 24, and Zara with this 27. So it associates this values with the custom keys. Now the custom key is now Demi, and its value is 20, and the second key is uh, Doha instead of the indexes like 0, 1, 2. Now the custom index will be uh, according to our string keys. I did not echo. Again, why do I forget that? Print R again, and my variable name is array. array name. So this is the custom keys for before we did the array example. First of all, previously we did an example of array, and there we saw that the key was 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. But here we have custom keys like NOWDEMY, Zoha, and Zara instead of numbers. In associative array, this is what we see. We do we do create custom keys for our values. Now Dynamic stores training, where previously we saw that 0 stored Naudemi and 1 stored Zoha and 2 stored Zara. Here the custom keys are some strings. So this is what we see in associative array. Now we will look at multidimensional array, the another type of array. The multidimensional array, the name shows the functionality with its name. It can store data of multi categories and can access according to the category. For example, we create two categories array and create two other categories inside that array like pass or fail. We will see the example in our code like first of all, I will remove this data because I don't need this, and I'm going to create. I will change this variable also, but I think I'll leave it here. This is okay, not an issue. I will create two categories, past, and the other one will be fail. So first of all, do to the past, create the past, and some people will be fail and some people will be past. So I will first create the list of the past people. Say array Zoha, comma, Zara. This is what we are trying to say, that Zoha and Zara are past, where the failures names are sorry, failures names are something like maybe Sana, Homa, Zoya. Oh, sorry, inside strings. So we say that we have two categories, pass and fail, and inside these categories we have another array of Zora that contains a list of two persons, Zoha, Zara, and the fail categories also contains array list of two persons, Zainab and Zora. The Zoya and Zara are failed, past, and Zainab and Zoya are failed. So if we want to call the past list category, it will call both of these Zoha and Zara, and if you want to call the failed category, an array will store and call the Zainab and Zoya. So let's see if we want to call the first of all the past category. Past and the person inside the past category who are past. So I will say that echo, and what my variable name is array because it contains that categories, and I will call the first dimension the array category past. Yeah, and I will call the index of the person. Like now I'm saying that there is a variable called array name, and inside this array variable there is some where another variable called another category, another list that is called as past, and in this past variable call the value or item that is indexed at 0. So where the index where who is at index of 0? Obviously Zoha is at index of 0 in the category of past. So Zoha is at index of 0 and Zara is at index of 1. If I want to call the Zara, I will change the index and it will call Zara in the category of past. Let's see what happens. Zara, obviously Zara is at index of 1. If I want to call the Zoha, then it will call the uh, Zoha. Obviously that is. Now if I want to call the pair categories list, then it will also call the list according to the location of indexes where the lists are stored. According to the pair category, the 0 index Zenab stays and index 1 Zoya stays. So if I want to call the Zoya in the category of field, it will say Zenab. Okay. At index of 0 in the field categories, Zenab stays. So this was a simple example of a multi-dimensional array. We saw that we can store multi-dimensional data inside a single variable. This is the single variable, and we have stored so many data inside this single variable. We have two categories and more list items inside these two categories, and all this data are stored in this single variable. The huge beneficial advantage of the arrays are this, because it stores huge amount of data inside a single variable, and that's why we love to create arrays. We love to use arrays anywhere in our programming, in our websites, in our softwares, everywhere. So this was a simple example of associative array. We will now check. We will go to make an introduction, and we will set some data from phone to the Mysqli database. Now let's see what is MySQL, how do we use it, what interface it has. Simply say tap localhost in your browser, localhost slash, and it will redirect you to the dashboard. Then say that PHP, click the PHP my admin. PHP my admin will redirect you to SQL where SQL server, my SQL server, that is used as locally. XAMPP is a server to execute PHP scripts. This is the interface of my SQL database. Here we can create a new databases. This is the list of databases I've created before, and here we can make queries for database, and these are the data. Here we can create new database and can name. Here we will name our database like NOWDEMY. I will go to create this variable. This database has been created. uh, I will now I want to create a table over here. So what my table, new table, a new table, and I will here I can specify the number of rows, uh, like names, username, phone, and their message. So I will take 4 rows. I can change these rows also to any, but I will take 4 columns over here and will go. These are the columns where I will name my column field names like username, and what its type is, data type is what got, and email. email is also work on form. Form is also work on, and the lastly message. Message should be text because it may be contain long text, so it will take the database of data type of text. Here I will define the length of string 255, 255 again. And 255. Okay, so nothing else, and go to save this data, go field name, and it will redirect you to the table. Here are my field names are simply now for now this table is empty because we did not store any data to this table. We can import another table database from anywhere. If we have in our local machine, we can simply click on this and we can import that database. If I have SQL file, no, I don't know. Oops, no, I don't have any SQL file in my uh, local machine. But if you have, you can simply click on this and browse that file, and simply can import that database. Also, you can create, make any operations here. You can delete your database, your table from here. This is you. If you want to truncate, if you want to simply empty the table, you click on this truncate button. If you want to delete the whole table, you will simply click the table drop table. So I will not do anything. I don't need to create delete or empty the table because the table is already empty and I don't want to drop that table. So this is was the simple introduction to the MySQL server interface and usage. We will see and will create a connection string with the database from PHP. So delete all of this. First of all, I will create a form. Here an example of form. I will take a form from here, HTML form, and copy. Simply okay. Now here I will store the bootstrap files in order to beautify the my HTML form. I will copy the files from here also. This is a bootstrap file you can get from the internet. Go to the get bootstrap.com and copy this link from over there. So simply go to the browser and check for the output how the form looks like. Localhost again and data.php. This is how my form looks like. I will send some data to the database from this form. So I want to give some style to this form. Style like body, body, padding 10% and 20% from the left and right. So I think this is okay. I will give the placeholder so I can identify the input type. The first input type is full name, so I will say that placeholder is enter name, copy, enter email, and the third one is enter phone. Yeah, phone. And the fourth one it contains a text message. I will say that enter message. With the browser, it will look little bit beautiful. So yeah, this is looking cute. So what I want to do next, I want to create a connection with the PHP and will ask for the database to make a connection. I will say that con stand for connection. Connection equals to MySQLi connect. And Mysqli connect takes some parameters. First one localhost, and the second my localhost username is root, and method asks for the password. I don't. My password is nothing. I'm not using any password. If you are using any password for your uh, MySQL server, so you will name the your username of your MySQL server. You will put the name here, and you will put your MySQL server with password over here. So I'm not using any password, and my by default username is root, and what my database name was NewDB. Sorry, inside strings NewDB. So this is a simple string connection string of a MySQL server. Now I am connected to the database. I will check either I am connected or not. If con echo we are connected, else echo connection error. This is a simple if statement that we are checking either we are connected to our database or not. Yeah, successfully. Hooray, we are connected to the database. Thanks to the database. Ah, okay, now we are connected to the database. Simply, I will delete this message because I no more I want to see this message because I know that I'm connected to the database. Now, what I will do, I will insert some data from the form into the database. What I will need to do for that purpose, I will say query. I will create a variable. I will name it a query, and we'll say that my SQL like query, and it will take two parameters. The first one will be the comma, and the second will be the SQL insert query. So insert into my table name is new TBL, and new TBL fields names are what my new fields names are I will check for that. Username, email, phone, and message. So copy this, comma. I don't need quotations over here, comma. Another is email, comma, phone, comma, message. Yeah, now this is okay. So new to be a non-user and fields, and now this is okay. I will say if query echo error. Okay, now this is simply I'm saying that if the connection, if the query is successfully working, then I'm good to go to the database. Otherwise, I will have some field error. Oops, yeah, I have field error. Here equals to Mysql connect and for insert into a pod. I've not completed the query where the values are. What my values are? My values will be some variables from my form: name, email, phone, and message. How can I forget that? I will create variables for that. Name equals to post name, copy, and change that email, and phone, again phone, and here the message also here. So I will put this variable inside this value. Let's say name, the first one is name, comma, again for email, comma, again, third one is phone, comma, again, fourth one is message, yeah, I'm good to go. I will call another function that is named as error reporting in order to uh, avoid the extra or unnecessary errors, because the error were coming on this page was unnecessary. It means nothing to us, so we don't need this to solve this error. We will go good. We are good to go to work. So here I will say that now Jimmy, I will insert some data from this form. Now Jimmy address phone number can be anything. Hey there. And now then I create. I hope the data will be successfully received by my database, by my table. Here is my database name. Here is my table name. Oops, no, we are not receiving the data. I will check what are the errors. So we were having some errors. The data was not saving to the databases. We have troubleshooted the error. We have debugged the error. And I've separated the connection string. Before we were having a string like this. Now I've separated this connection variable from this SQL query, and I have separated to the another variable. Now I have another variable Mysqli with function Mysqli query, and I have stored two parameters to it. Mysqli query takes two parameters. One is connection to the database, and the other is the SQL query. Here is we have MySQL query that inserting the error data to the MySQL server. So we have passed both of two variables connection and SQL query to the SQL variables. Now let's see if data is saving or not. Refresh the page again. Now phone and number can be anything. Hey there. Now Demi. Okay, the data is sent. I hope the data will be received by the table new table. Okay, we have successfully sent the data to our SQL server, and that here we have a table, and we have received that data by MySQL server. Now we will call this data from MySQL server in our form, in this form. What we can do for this, we will simply say that while grow, grow is a variable, this can be anything. MySQL fetch, it takes a parameter. We will pass a parameter of query for SQL, and it will echo a data from SQL server. Row, I will say row, the variable name. Using I'm sorry, before doing all this, I will need to execute another query from SQL in order to fetch data from MySQL server. So what this query should be? Um, SQL. Again, let's create a variable for that. SQL data equals to select start from what my table name is new here. Okay, So SQL data, and I will copy all this. I will create a BR so the data comes with line break. Copy. So I will copy for this username, and the other is email. Email is like this. Our variable is phone. I will do this with some string in order to enhance the output. This is my name, or I can say that my name is whatever my name comes from Mysqli, and here also I will concat some string, and my email is, and my phone is, I will say my phone, and my phone number is okay. I will also call message, my message. So this is simple. I wrote to MySQL fetch while so this variable fetch data from MySQL table. It will print these variables from the MySQL and will print to our page. Here we are detecting some errors. So we were having some errors in our scripts, in our queries are detected and to make it okay. So now I'm saying that I'm displaying the result, all variables from my SQL server. These are the variables from my SQL server, and I want to display that data on my browser, on my page with my phone. So what I've created another function. I have a loop, and I'm saying that while the row fetches data from the SQL server, and this SQL data variables refers to this line of code. This SQL data fetches the data from the SQL server table, that is name is new table, and it will fetch data from this table. These are the fields name that selects all these fields data and stores inside this SQL data table, SQL data variable, and I'm fetching data through this variable. Now here I'm saying that while this variable fetch data from SQL server uh, gradually or print data, as well as it fetch data from MySQL server. So while the data is fetching from MySQL server, this will print this data also on the web browser. So let's see what is the output now. I will refresh the web page, and I will insert some data to my database. NOWDEMY, username is NOWDEMY, and my email is NOWDEMY something.com. The number is anything. Header NOWDEMY. I chart of colors. That's fine, I think. Yes, this is what I wanted. Here is the username. This is the user email and the user number, and this is the user message. So let's see what happens in my table, where my table name is my no, not this is my database name, NewDB, and my table name is new table. And this is the data I've inserted to the form from PHP, and now the table receives this data, and I also have called that data from the database, and I've displayed that data over here. I can put this data as SQL data inside H1 or other text in order to beautify or make stylish that data. H1 or H3, H3 to be okay. I will copy this and I will apply here. I will concat this and close this. So this is okay, I think. No, not okay. I'm not concated here. Now it's okay. I'm good to go, I think. Let's see what happens. Yep, this is H3, and these all also can be H3. You will do it with yourself. I just shown an example. So this is now H3 inside any. It can be also inside a P tag, inside another small tag or title tag or any other tag. You can beautify this. So now in this tutorial we have covered all these topics: installation, variables, comments, if statements, is the isset function creation, and all these variables and topics. So we know that what is MySQL, and we have saved some data to the database and have retrieved that data back from database. So thanks for watching this tutorial. Hope to see you again with new video tutorials from NOWDEMY. Now thank you so much viewers for watching us. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.